See, guys? I told you I'd get to it.
Tumbling through 1,000 centuries, you don't know where you land. It's so dark in mythology. Treasures of history to be found. These are legends of time. All the handiworks remain. Only the dream away. Orion, Orion,
For those who remember my Spaceballs cartoon review,
Breakbar Classic, will you? I'll kill you! I'll kill all of you!
well, good for you, because all I remember was blacking out in rage. Anyway, in that video, I brought mention to a certain series.
For example, in Billy and Brendan Watch Movies,
We'll take a wild guess what's under the microscope tonight. Now, don't misconstrue this as an attack on the show or its creators, because it's not. In fact, I have nothing but respect for them for being able to pull this off. The premise of Billy and Brendan is these two friends who watch movies, and whenever they do, it ends up penetrating their reality. From there, you have an excellent excuse to parody any film under the sun. The series has this very cult feel to it, very reminiscent of Mystery Science Theater or Futurama, and is criminally unknown. Let's try and fix that. I love this series, but can I recommend this to the average Joe? Let's take a look at Billy and Brendan Watch Movies. Now before I begin, I might as well let you guys know where I found this. I found this at Indie PopCon last year, where the creators Billy S. Spurlock and Brandon Yoder were there selling their Season 1 Blu-rays. When I told the two that I would review it on my channel, I not only got the Season 1 Blu-ray signed by both Billy and Brandon, but I also got one of their short films, Intruder. I won't tackle Intruder in this video, but pairing this with Billy and Brandon really shows their directing chops, and it's quite suspenseful to boot. I'll leave a link to the official YouTube video as I highly recommend it. Now, why am I telling you this? I just wanted to explain that I couldn't use the Blu-rays to get the footage. I really have no way to use Blu-ray discs for reviews. While I probably could cobble together a system for that purpose, I feel it would be too much work than it's worth. Thankfully, all 8 of the Season 1 episodes are available on their YouTube channel for your convenience and mine. What better place to start than episode 1, which is a parody of the Quentin Tarantino film Reservoir Dogs, which I've never watched. Oh, come on, I can't watch everything!
You suck!
While it definitely would help to know a bit about the film, a good parody should also have a chance to stand on its own merits. Our episode opens with Billy finding Brandon in his closet. I would make a joke about this, but I'm certain that 95% of you already came up with one of your own.
Nice suit.
Oh, thanks. I got it at a funeral.
You mean for a funeral?
Yeah, sure.
Look, Billy, just between you and me, you don't want to know what happened in the suit, but needless to say, I'm wanted in 3 states now. They go to the local restaurant right after their slow-mo walk and find their friend, Steve, played by Stefan Stevenson. Steve is hilarious. His whole existence is that of a punching bag for the main characters, but he just likes hanging out with them and belonging so much that the abuse he receives doesn't even faze him. I love this guy. So the two start discussing Reservoir Dogs.
Well, I think Tarantino is extremely overrated. Everybody says he's such a visionary director, and nothing that man has ever done is even remotely original. I mean, and how tacky do you have to be to act in your own movies? I mean, talk about pretentious.
All right, you've got to give him some credit for Reservoir Dogs, though. It's his first movie. It becomes a cult classic like overnight, man. Look, the guy knows how to develop characters. Yeah, his scripts can be a little long-winded, but he knows how to get the most from his actors. Not to mention bringing them back from the brink of extinction. I mean, where were the careers of Pam Grier, Michael Keaton, David Carradine, fucking John Travolta?
This is a well-done scene, weird audio hiccup aside. Not only does it establish the characters, but it also shows that when it comes to movies, Billy and Brendan know what they're talking about, and it gives the two a common interest to show why they're friends in the first place. that they aren't just friends because the script demands it.
No.
So keeping in line with the parody, Brandon out of the blue decides to rob the movie theater where Billy works.
I work there. But no, I work there.
Yeah, makes it the perfect crime, man.
Let's hear it.
Apparently there's a safe in the theater with diamonds in it. I won't begin to ask why a local movie theater has a vault of diamonds, but the heist is a 3-person job. So they decide to use Steve as a scapegoat. As they discuss the plan, Brandon assigns each of them a code name.
You can call me Mr. Belvedere. Billy, you're Mr. Pibb.
No, wait, no. Can I be like Dr. Pepper? I mean, being Mr. Pibb is like being Mr. Piss.
No, you can't be Dr. Pepper. You're Mr. Pibb. It's the same goddamn thing, and you don't have a PhD.
Now, personally, I'd be fond of the name Dr. Thunder. I'm not kidding, that's what the knockoff is called at Sam's Club. Look it up.
So, Billy, got us a little insurance policy today, just in case things go a little wrong.
Isn't there like a 3-day waiting period for these things?
No, it's cool. I found this.
Where?
Look, Billy, I was not kidding when I said I'm wanted in 3 states. So when they both realize that the heist would be too difficult to pull off, they decide to pull out and watch a movie instead, but neglect to tell Steve. Our episode ends with the duo plus the theater employee Kurt going to the roof to piss on Steve. As you do. But hold on a moment there, my friends. I have another episode for this video. And it's a parody where I actually have a frame of reference.
Shocking, isn't it?
The zombie classic, Night of the Living Dead. The episode opens with Brendan rushing into the house with no colors and this nameless woman. Also, for the record, her name is Sally, played by Jordan Ryan, and she becomes a more prominent character in the later episodes, just FYI. Brendan claims that zombies are invading and that he and Billy need to board up the house, with Billy just going along with it and embracing the black and white. What I find hilarious is that Billy, for the most part, is the straight man to Brandon's antics. So you'd think Billy would be more skeptical and need more convincing to go along with this, but he doesn't really need any extra prodding and just goes along with it anyway. It's honestly a nice subversion of expectations. Kudos. So the two board up the house for the zombie apocalypse that, obviously, is not really happening, forcing Billy's boss, Jeff, to come and see what's going on. Now, I called Billy the straight man to Brandon. Well, Jeff is the straight man to the both of them, who doesn't really approve of their hijinks, but does the best he can to snap them back into reality. Anyway, the two check the attic for zombies, but to their horror, only find...
Who is?
Hey guys! I boarded at the attic! See ya!
You appear to have some sort of infestation.
I know asking logical questions in a parody is a very dangerous practice that could result in my very death, but do I really want to know what Steve was doing in that attic? Anywho, the quartet are sitting where it's revealed that Billy... Oh jeez, how do I put this without offending anyone?
You picked up a chick on a retard bus?
Always the tactful one, that's Steve. After Jeff fails to knock some sense into the two, and after some bickering, Brandon shoots Sally.
That's it.
Or rather, Sally's stunt pumpkin.
Fuck yeah, I did.
I think I can get away with saying that this and the later shot of the camera crew are a crack at the film's minuscule budget of around $114,000. But in no time, the trio are surrounded.
It's worse than I imagined. All the zombies have turned into Jehovah's Witnesses.
No! How to fight such a gruesome combination!
What, they weren't zombies already? After sacrificing Steve to the zombie Jehovah's Witnesses, Jeff calls Billy and explains that the world is indeed not ending, and to get back to work. The episode ends with Brendan cleaning up the place and dumping Sally's body on Steve, now a Jehovah's Witness. Dear God, it's spreading! I'm not covering a third episode for the sake of time, but I have to quickly spotlight an episode. Season 1, Episode 4, a parody of The Muppets. I want to highlight this one because it is glorious, as the cast dons puppets and starts up a variety show. I don't want to cover this one because, honestly, it's one of the best and needs to be seen in all of its felt glory. So that's Billy and Brendan Watch Movies, and looking at it, it is a great series. The writing is top-notch, the characters are likable, and the humor is delivered well. The characters are a blank slate with a basic personality, which allows them to easily be placed into any situation, and the humor can come from how the world around them changes to fit the movie, or how others react to their antics. What sits in the forefront, however, is a love for movies. The parodies are never lazy in Billy and Brendan and come from an understanding of the film and its inner workings. Every joke has a reason to be there and where it is. Is it perfect? I really can't say that. The music is really non-existent, mostly silent except for the opening and end credits. And obviously, there are those times where a joke just doesn't work. And for a parody, that is kind of a problem. Granted, that last bit is completely subjective and doesn't detract from how enjoyable the writing is. For one lukewarm joke, there are 5 more that might hit home. With great writing, likable characters, and a very relaxed and carefree tone, Billy and Brendan is a treat that I can safely recommend to anyone. So if you got the time, go check out their YouTube channel and give these guys your support by subscribing. They make great content, and tell them that the Oshawott sent you. With that said, this has been the Oshawott17. Good night, stay safe, and catch zombie Jehovah's Witnesses in the theater near you. Maybe. Most likely not. Happy New Year, everybody!